Thank you.
That was Dave Morrison, y'all. we thought we were broadcasting and we weren't.
We weren't broadcasting.
So Julie's Joint wants to thank Dave Morrison for getting us started on Julie's Joint, and you can play that song again if you like.
Oh, I think we'll save it for later in the set.
All right.
Okay, well, we just played it. So are we broadcasting now? Yeah. All right, out there. We just did the best version of that song ever. I mean, it's been recorded. You know, we sweated up. We just finally hit that song, and we weren't up yet. Well, this is why we do this kind of thing. This is a lab experiment, and you guys out there in TV land are there to spot these things like, hey, there's nothing going on out here. So I don't think I'm going to do that same song. You want to do the same song again? Just start with the same song again? Was that what a professional would do? Letting go is the hardest part. Watching everything fade away. I want to speed dial one and say something funny 20 times a day. But we just start talking and laughing. Back to each other we would run. The whole damn cycle would start round again. I want to stop the wheel, I'm done. I want to be happy again, and tip my hat and flash a smile. Maybe it all will come back to me, though it's been a little while. I want to be happy again, good and loose inside my skin. Is it too much pie in the sky that I could just be happy again? No more long-distance love affairs, no more promises I can't keep. Well-meaning women with time on their hands who never seem to get enough sleep. No more sweet-faced inquisitors who swear they care for me. Only gotta bite off a little at a time and swallow carefully and try to be happy again. At least a lighter shade of blue. Hang out with my buddies, ride motorcycles. I don't know, do what people do to get happy again. Good and snug inside my skin. Is it too much pie in the sky that I could just be happy again? I used to dance beneath the diamond sky, baby, with the one hand waving free. Time makes dust of everything. Whatever happened to me? All the times that you spent saving me from myself just made me weak. Game is late, still it's too soon to die in your arms. Taking your maps down off of my walls, gonna put up a few of my own. Try to forget all the names I've been called and the shame that's been growing like cracks in my bones. Take every day just the way it arrives. let 'em roll out one by one. Keep an eye out for the good each one brings. Let 'em leave me when they're done. And try to be happy again. Well, tip my hat and flash a smile. I believe that it all will come back to me, though it's been a long, long while. I'm gonna be happy again, not even thinking about my skin. Is it too much pie? 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 Is it too much pie in the sky that I could just be happy again? I hope to God that we are rolling. All right. So cool. Hey, everybody. Yeah, that's us there. All right. Well, it's a small crowd, but mighty. You know, it's the weirdest thing is, normally I'm used to looking at about 50, 60 people at this particular joint. And now I'm thinking there's like 85 people in their underwear. That is something you're not supposed to think about. Or are you? Maybe you're supposed to. Maybe you're supposed to think of people being in their underwear, right? But not actually. So what are we going to play? Let's do Shadows. Okay. Is this, am I keyboard on 2 on Shadows? I think I am.
It says D guitar.
Having a little trouble here. This song is called Shadows, and this song had a very strange history behind it. I was watching this friend of mine used to just make up songs on the fly. He'd come to an open mic, and he would talk to one of the guitar players and say, would you just get me like a vamp going? So one of us would grab guitar and get him a little chord progression or something, and he would just ad lib stuff, and he'd go like into this other place, right? And Snap Lewis is who I'm talking about. And one night he was just off in this train of thought, this sort of stream of consciousness thing, and I hear him say, that's what something about fading away, and that's what shadows do at the end of the day. And I thought, oh my God, that's the greatest line. So I, after the thing, I said, hey, Snap, what was the thing that thing he said about something fading away, and after and that's what shadows do at the end of the day? He goes, I have no recollection of that whatsoever. So I said, you don't mind if I steal it then? So this song just stuck in my head. I just had that little bit. And I just drove back and forth to work for like a month with that song writing itself in my head, because I was trying to find that little bit of the divine that Snap got into. So I hope I did all right with turning it into a song. It took me long enough, and I don't really write like making lists of rhyme words or something. I just wait. I just wait for a song to come. Who am I to act as if there's anything I can expect? Who are you to act as if the piper never will collect? These things we tell ourselves all just to buy some time. Gone like that perfect dream in the morning that living brings. Maybe in a month of weeks, maybe in a year from now, we'll pass each other on the street, and it all will come clear somehow. But that's not for us to know. Ours is the flying blind. crashing down through the trees, crawling out on our knees. Your heart is a ticking clock unwinding in your chest. The sun rolls over on its side and settles in the weary west. This is where you kiss my neck and slowly fade away. That's what shadows do at the end of the day. Even when we know the score, we believe it that much more. The sudden blinding flash of grace, the truth like a slap across your face. Even when we know the score. There was a song I used to know when we were young and shining bright, about the fountains in our souls, full of sorrow, full of light. We hear our own steps running, echoing out of time. I turn to look for you, but you're turned and looking too. Your heart is a ticking clock unwinding in your chest. The sun rolls over on its side and settles in the weary west. This is where you toss your hair and slowly fade away. 'Cause that's what shadows do at the end of the day. Hey everybody, Tracy Newman is fully dressed. That does not happen all the time. So thank you, Tracy, for sharing this special and very uncommon moment with the entire world. If only you knew Tracy the way we know Tracy, you would all understand what we're talking about. You know, I seem to talk a lot of shit from stage, but I swear it's all completely true. I learned that from Texans. You know, you lie about everything except the important stuff. Tell the truth about the important stuff, and the rest of it you might be making up on the spot. It's a Texan thing. But you don't lie about the important stuff. Well, actually, a Texan told me that, and maybe I just fell for the biggest lie of all. It's possible. It's possible I need to revisit that. What are we going to play here next, guys? How about Precious One? Let's do a love song. This song is called Precious One, and I'm telling you, for me, at the time that I wrote this song, a hard-charging drunk that I was, I thought, I can't release a song called Precious One. And then somebody later told me, you know you've written a chick flick, right? And I go, oh, God, it's getting worse and worse. I really have to give up the sauce. So it is a little bit of a chick flick, all right? I got to admit, you know, it's a boy meets girl meets, well, nobody ever actually meets in my songs because, you know, love is a dark place for me, but it is nevertheless a sweet song. So this is called Precious One. We're going to play it for you right now. Tracy, Go ahead and take your clothes back off. She comes up the back steps with her hands full of mail. The calico's hungry weaves between her feet. She throws out the junk, stacks the bills up with the rest. She opens a can, puts on a pot of tea. It's not so bad, she tells herself, the weather's good. I shouldn't let these little worries get me down. I need to be grateful for the good things in my life, but it sure would be sweet to have someone around who will be my oars in the current. Help me make sense of this when the day is done, and who will take my side even when I am not worthy? Who will be my precious one? He sits outside the church hall, frozen in his car. Lights in the window, people moving there. On the breeze, the sounds of fiddles and guitar. He pulls down the visor, runs his fingers through his hair. How did I get here? He asks of his reflection. When did my father's face start looking back at me? There's scars on me for everyone I've ever loved. Can no one see I'm more than these? Who will be my oars in the current? Help me make sense of this when the day is done, and who will take my side even when I am not worthy? Who will be my precious one? How long do I hold out in the face of all this time? How long till they call the game? Pack the hopes away, call it a day. Drives up Main Street an hour after sundown. The old church steeple black in a sky of purple blue. Pulls into the lot just as a man is pulling out. Their eyes lock for a second. Do I know you? Who will be my oars in the current? Help me make sense of this when the day is done, and who will take my side even when I'm wrong? Who will be my precious one? Who will be my precious one? I got a little lost there at the end, but then when Paula and I hit that one note, I thought, all is forgiven. And I'll edit it out anyway. Oh, wow. Having an out-of-body experience here. What they don't tell you when you set out to be a rock star, we've probably got 8 or 10 of you guys out there, is that playing to a small crowd is so much more difficult than playing to a large crowd, right? Because you figure with a large crowd, I got to be getting somebody. Somebody's got to be getting this. But when there's like 8 people, you go, I'm not so sure that this is one of those songs that gets 1 out of every 8 people. So, I'm going to do Adrenaline right now. We're going to do a song right now. And I'm not going to tell you the name of it. You will hear it. We've been in a place in this country that is just getting, it's getting really hard to put up with anybody at any position in the political sphere, except the dead center. Just a sec. I just lost half of my listeners just by saying that last thing. But it's getting really, really hard to put up with this constant battle. You know what I mean? And I have become very convinced that we are easily addicted to the aggression chemical. And so I wrote this sort of post-war scenario for all of those people out there that are thinking that the Civil War sounds like a jolly good plan. I wrote this song, and it's set just after the big war. I better check my tuning. I was planning on that being a much more lucid introduction, but somewhere along the line I lost my pick, and then I went into a mild panic about losing my pick. Anyway, there is a real romance that people have with that they are addicted to. I once wrote a song about my alcohol issues, and it was a wistful lament of love for that thing that I had lost. And so I brought a little of that vibe into the song. You'll hear what I'm talking about. My guitar up? When the war was over, they mustered out my pay. I tracked a broken compass through the fields of gray, where the blackened hearths and steeples stood like mourners at the grave of every worthy thing we'd fought to save. I stopped to dip some water, to scrub my skin with sand, but I could not wash the bloodstains from my hands. Adrenaline, I was your champion, and you my sacred call. To protect the life we loved, I'd gladly kill them all. Now my sword is in its scabbard, but I would wield it one more time, just to feel you in my arms, adrenaline. No rifle shots, no cannon, no trumpets did I hear. So absolute the quiet, I thought I'd lost my ear. Across the miles of wreck and ruin, where his men had died and killed, untouched, the governor's mansion stood upon a hill. I stopped to chase a reason through the mazes of my mind, but nothing worth the losses could I find. Adrenaline, I was your champion, and you my sacred call. To protect the life we loved, I'd gladly kill them all. Now my sword is in its scabbard, but I would wield it one more time, just to feel you in my heart, adrenaline. Greg Kruger there. Neath the tree my father planted to shade his resting bride, two markers made of stone, forever side by side, and another cut afresh that said gone before her time. Beloved inspiration, adrenaline. Adrenaline, I was your champion, and you my sacred call. To protect the life we loved, I'd gladly kill them all. Now my sword is in its scabbard, but I would wield it one last time, just to feel you in my arms, adrenaline. Just to feel you in my heart, adrenaline. Just to feel you in my arms, adrenaline. Thank you. That's Adrenaline. It's a good name for a southern gal. Wasn't sure I'd get away with that one, but it seems to be doing all right. So we'll take down this, and we'll take this back up. These things can get pretty woven together. You can braid your guitar chords if you're not being careful. Get yourself all in a twist. All right. I think we should want to do Nothing Left to Lose? Sure. We're going to do Nothing Left to Lose. There's a brief story that goes behind this one. This was about, I don't know, I think it was just around the time that I met Alexia, who has been my creative partner for a decade or more. And something was changing in me, and I was living in this little place. I wasn't happy, and I got $10,000 from my parents. They'd cashed out a T-bill, right? And they gave the kids each $10,000, and I bought a motorhome. That's the Hobo Dojo that you guys know about. And I didn't have any place to park it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a half-assed notion I was going to live in it and drive around. Well, once I drove it for a few days, I understood that's not going to happen. I'm going to park it somewhere and plug into a house. And so I found a place, and I was getting ready to move, and this couch that I had almost merged with, that I'd been laying around on and drinking too much and all that stuff, I took that couch and I dragged it out to the street, and I put a sign on it that said, free. And I took a picture of it, and I thought, oh, that's what this is. And around that same time, I think I told Alexia, I said, can you just go off and live in the story? I think you can do that. I think you can just live in the story of your life instead of combating it all the time like I'd been doing. So I just started going off and living in the story of my life, and some weird stuff has happened since then. But this was that moment where I felt like I had nothing left to lose. I was just at a place where I was just going to go off into the world. I'm on 5 on this, right? And see what happened. So far, I've stayed out of prison. But sometimes, I swear, it's been just barely, hasn't it? I need to check my tuning real quick. So, is anybody, like, every now and then, somebody, and usually right in the middle of a song, somebody will hold up a sign saying how many people are out there. I wouldn't be really mad if they waited till the middle of, between songs to do that. I wouldn't feel too bad about that. Thank you. But we're somewhere, I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 people watching, so that's good. We'll take that for our first try. I do expect you folks out there to, if you've enjoyed this thing that we do here, and of course you're going to stay and see the John Zipperer band coming up. That's the real attraction here tonight. And I won't make you stay up all night by blabbering between every single song. But if you like what you're seeing here, we're going to be doing a lot of events around LA, and we're going to try to come up to speed on this. So we're looking for your input. Let us know what you like and don't like about the live feed. And we'll take that into consideration and try to get good at it so that we can have a viewing audience that really is national. You know, even if it's only a few hundred people, because we do expect this to double each time we do it. Just saying. So bring somebody in on your end if you enjoy what we're doing. Next time, have somebody come over and watch it together, all right? All right. I woke up this morning with a hole in my heart, shaped a lot like you. My brittle spirit broke apart, and light came pouring through. I know you gave me a treasure, it was more than I could use. Hey ho, away I go, I got nothing left to lose. Now the frost is crunching beneath my heels, the trees are like skeleton hands. The sky is hard as plated steel, and winter's on the land. Yeah, but somewhere a sun is painting gold across the roofs. Hey ho, away I go, I got nothing left to lose. Here's to the horn in the attic, the bell ain't never been rung. The poet punching some dead-end clock to die with a song unsung. Here's to the sway-backed houses, to the bramble and the rust. Somewhere there's a home for all of us. I rang a stop sign like a gong with my big old clumsy head. I laughed to see the droplets fall, amazed that I still bleed red. After 30 years hard labor and a tank car full of booze. Hey ho, away I go, I got nothing left to lose. Jalopy, the records nobody plays. The girls don't think they're beautiful and turn themselves away. Here's to the windows glowing in the fading light of dusk. somewhere there's a home for all of us. Well, I sharpened my pencil on the sidewalk, thought up a couple words. I wrote them down on a bag I found and dreamed a couple chords. And a melody came winging, too natural to refuse. Hey ho, where I go. Hey ho, where I go. Hey ho, where I go. I got nothing left to lose. Thank you. And speaking of that couch, I once wrote a song on that couch all in one day without touching a guitar, and I mean it was most of a day. And it was in that little cottage where I was living, on that couch that later got hauled out to the street with a free sign on it to tie back to an earlier phase of my storybook life. And I had been in a coffee shop early that morning, and I'd heard one woman say to another, you know, it's not so much, I miss him when he's gone, but more than that, I miss who I am when he's here, when he's gone. And I thought, that's it. You know, it's the person you marry, you mate with the person who allows you to be the self that you can love, you know? And when you lose that, that's a crisis. That's not just the crisis of losing a person you go to the movies with, or even, you know, have sex with, or something as tawdry as that, knowing all of you. It's a crisis to not be seen and not be understood. You know, if you ask people what they love about a good song, they'll invariably tell you that they feel understood by that song. You know, that's the lyric makes them feel like they've been heard and understood. So this song is called "Still an Hour Out," and it's kind of about that theme. And I just had that thing in my head, and I went home, and it was foggy outside, and I opened all the windows up, and the fog kind of came into the house, and I just laid down on that old green couch, and this story just arrived in my head. And then later I had to learn how to play it on guitar, which is a lot harder. Still working on that part. I never did much like the things that money buys. Always thought the simple things were true. Take a morning walk in the cool by the river. Lay up all night long and talk to you. And anyway, I never did get hold of much. Had it by the tail a while, but it slipped through my hands. But when you're looking up at me and you hook your arm in mine, I always know exactly who I am. Call my name and I'll start driving, headed west without a doubt. And you will feel my soul arriving while I'm still an hour out. I know that I got goodness locked inside of me. I want to give it out, but I hold it back. 'Cause when I'm on my own, I get so turned around until I am too confounded to act. But when I hit my knees at the end of every day, the simplest prayer recited, that every broken soul might once again be whole, and you and I be reunited. Call my name and I'll come driving, headed west without a doubt, and you will feel my soul arriving while I'm still an hour whatever that it is you've been carrying, running from just to find it everywhere. Know that it will wear you down a little at a time, until one day it's impossible to bear. Remember how you dreamed you fell and hurt yourself. Remember how you dreamed I came and carried you back home. Remember every dream that we allowed ourselves to dream. Draw your deepest breath and dial the telephone. Call my name and I'll be driving, headed west without a doubt, and you will feel my soul arriving while I'm still an hour out. Thank you. I have to regain my composure. Not that I, got so into the characters of the song or anything. I was just trying to deal with my own inadequacies as a finger picker. Greg, you're supposed to tune before you leave the house, my brother. What's going on here? Next time we got to have you bring a guitar up too, so we're all tuning constantly.
Oh, well, yeah, that'd be fun. I know, right? It's a beautiful array.
So what about
here.
I'm sorry.
I said it's a beautiful array of guitars and mandolins.
Isn't
and
it?
Instruments.
This is Paula Fong, everybody. I have no idea. I feel like I'm punching well out of my weight here, having her on stage with me, but she doesn't seem to have caught on to that yet, so don't tell her. What do you feel like? Take Heart? We haven't done that yet, have we? No, I don't think so. I want to send this next song. It's called Take Heart, and I'm going to have to capo it, so let me go ahead and do that before I finish tuning. This is for my good friend Beverly Thompson. I don't know if she's watching out there. I did send her a link, but I discovered something with Beverly that she's an old flame, and then after the flame was unsustainable for all kinds of good reasons. We turned into friends, and I think that's an underappreciated relationship when you have the access to the mind of a person who knows you all the way through and still for some reason loves you anyway. And so I wrote this for her after one time that we had spent a little time sitting out on the deck of her place in Sierra Madre at that time, and I was at that point a historical figure for her. There was somebody new in her life, and unfortunately that person has passed recently. And so my heart goes out to her, but it's a difficult thing to console somebody. that you have that sort of thing with. You have to wait for them to reach out. And so I sent her the link, but I don't expect that she's watching. But if she is, Beverly, you got a lot of people who love you up here, and you should visit us once in a while. Dream unravels and unwinds. The sun comes sneaking through the blinds. I almost expect to find you waking by my side. I haul myself up and out the door. Regret don't want me anymore, when everything that I came here for is arriving on the tide. Hey darling, take heart, the worst is over, I believe, 'cause my tongue is in my cheek again, and my heart is on my sleeve. A pirate, excuse me, a poet on a wobbling stool, a pirate in a swimming pool. I've been every kind of modern fool, but I'm so much better now. I ran my races in reverse, I wore my blessings like a curse. For you I know it was even worse, but I'm so much better now. Hey darling, take heart, the worst is over, I believe, 'cause my tongue is in my cheek again, and my heart is on my sleeve. You paced me through these hurdles a time or two before. I don't get any more sure-footed with the passing years, and I know better, still I run inside the storm. But I always find my way back here when I need to hear a grown-up voice, some slim reason to rejoice. When I'm down to my last and my only choice, I find my way back here. Sit and watch the changing sky. Quiet moment passes by. We know not to ask each other why we've gone these separate ways. We laugh at where the lines have led, some funny thing the new guy said. You remind me to look ahead, always ahead to better days. Hey darling, take heart, the worst is over, I believe, 'cause my tongue is in my cheek again, and my heart is on my sleeve. All right, that was for Beverly. Well, I think we're kind of working our way down to the end of the set. I'm having a little issue with my hand cramping up. Does anyone else get that? I mean, I know that I'm getting these things of old age, But last night I woke up with leg cramps, and I go, oh no. You know, I'm deficient in something, and it'll likely show up on stage tomorrow just when I least need it. Just when I least need it. I got to make sure I talk into here because the people are out in the world. The real world. Okay, show of hands. Who's from Alabama? We're just going to go around the whole 50 states. I don't think it starts with Alabama, though, does it? It's probably Alaska.
Is there an official starting place?
I don't know. I would say Alabama is pretty much where everything starts and ends, frankly. So what are we doing here? Shadows, nothing left to lose. We've done Precious Time. Precious One, Take Heart, Still an Hour Out. Time. We haven't done Times Like These. Let's do that. Maybe my hand can live through that. And then we'll, Okay. You asked for it. This is Stealing Time. This is like my hit. I wrote this song, and apparently I thought it was a pretty unusually difficult time. And so I wrote this song, Stealing Time. Not Stealing Time. This is
Times Like These.
Times Like These. Yeah, sorry. Times Like These. And I've been using this song for like 25 years or more, and there's never been a time that hasn't been people haven't go, oh, I know, times like these, whoa, you know, and I feel like somebody's going to have to write an epic song, and it should probably be a Metallica song about 2020, because man, that was times beyond times like these. But I had this great old mentor, Ed Kirsty, and I would take all my problems to Ed, and you know, he was 40 years older than me, and I always figured, hey, he's just about as smart as me. He just has 40 years more experience, so it's safe to listen to him without having to feel like I'm dumb. So I would take all my problems to Ed, and at one time he goes, Davey, if you would just stop hanging on to the bottom, you'd just rise up naturally. And I thought, I have a guitar at home. I'm going to go write a song. See you later, Ed. That's the wrong song. It's the problem with being a musical illiterate. You know, it's all basically the same sentence. The old man said, son, you got to remember, a human can float on the sea. If you just stop hanging on to the bottom, you would rise up naturally. So I let go, it nearly killed me to do it. And I'll be damned, it's true. And though I'm still a couple leagues from the surface, I see that sun is shining through. I see that sun is shining through. Sometimes I can't feel the ground beneath my feet in times like these. I can't feel what the future is holding, but I feel you holding me. I feel you holding me. Took a trip, took a fall, took a long time to notice. We all trip and fall. Yeah, but somehow we drag ourselves back to our feet and walk on, and failing that, we crawl. And maybe it's the failures even more than the successes. Maybe it's these scars that mark our skins, yeah. Maybe it's this that can reconcile the differences and finally prove us kin. Sometimes I can't feel the ground beneath my feet in times like these. I can't feel what the future is holding, but I feel you holding me. me. I feel you holding me. La-da, 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 la-da. Greg Kruger. Ah, look at those clouds drawing back from each other. I believe it's gonna be an early spring. There's little green buds all over the tree out back, and the sap of life is in everything. And look at these kids, man, they're getting so big. But you and me, we're still reasonably young. Well, you anyway. Whoever thought I'd be this close to the finish line and feeling like I'd just begun. And when I can't feel the ground beneath my feet in times like these, I close my eyes and I let myself go, and I feel you holding me. I feel you holding me. La-da, la-da, da-da-da-da-da, la-da-da. I think we're coming down to it here. You want to do 2016? You up for it?
Sure.
Well, speaking of bad years, I wrote this next song in 2016. And I don't know if you remember, but it was, you know, David Bowie, Prince, so many people that we had become emotionally attached to through their music died that year. And at the end of the year, after I'd already written this song, he didn't get in under the deadline, unfortunately. My own brother died, my older brother, Kevin. Wasn't sick that we knew of. He just fell over in his living room fully dressed with his car keys in his hand. And they found him a few days later. And, you know, it's like I was going, what else? But I wrote this song about that year, and there's three motifs in it. And the first is a friend of mine, a guy named Craig Sherrick. Some of you guys knew him. And he had severe cancer and just decided not to tell anybody about it. And he and his girlfriend went into Greg's studio and made an album. So Greg was with them on that journey. You know, at the CD release party, we were all listening to the CD out in Craig's yard, or Debbie's yard, maybe. I'm not sure whose yard it was. And Craig couldn't even leave the bed. I think he died the next day. So I started with him, and then also the Pulse nightclub thing had happened that year. So I went out to Florida for the second verse, and then I brought it home to a little musings about my own challenges in life for the third verse. So I hope you like this song. It's called 2016. Faced down the animal that ate him from inside. Said you might get my body, but I won't give up my pride. He said, honey, let's just not tell anyone. They'll find out soon enough. You and me, we've got work to do before this gig is up. Went out on his own terms, far as I can see. Live each day like it's your last, someday it will be. all look just like angels dancing in the disco light. Carlos and his lover on a perfect Florida night. He said, God, if you're gonna take me, go ahead and take me now. They thought it was the DJ when they heard the shots ring out. Any love is worthy love, you were asking me. Live each day like it's your last, someday it will be. Just when you get your head up, it knocks you back down again. This year is like a reaper coming through the grain. But even in the broken husk, tender seed concedes. Excuse me. Even in the broken husk, tender seed concealed. When in doubt, just give anything, no matter how you feel. Trouble, but too short after all. I'm out walking on a saddleback, and there's no safe place to fall. When all my fights are settled, there's nothing more to say. Bury me 'neath the cherry tree and give the fruit away. Don't you wear no yoke, a silver note. Let your heart be free. Yeah, live each day like it's your last, someday it will be. Live each day like it's your last, someday it will be. Live each day like it's your last, someday it will be. Well, we're just about out of our time. We don't want to cost John his time, although I hear that the internet just lets you record for as long as you. It's a Saturday. It's still light outside. Screw you, John. How dare you hurry me through my set? I hope you all consider doing business with the 7-Eleven in your own hometown. I get a small kickback from this. It's a gig economy. It was hard to become an endorsee, and when they finally come out with the new Dave Morrison jug, it's going to have a snap-up handle and wheels, and you'll just But we're in negotiations about whether my picture will be on it, and if that picture will be of me now or 20 years ago. So these are hard things to settle. But I'm lawyered up pretty strong, though.
Wise move.
Yeah, just like I had to with the Zipperers down at Julie's Joint International down there, where we took on their lawyers and lost, incidentally. They won't notice if we just get rid of the audience clause. These people are rubes. They won't notice. Look how dazzled they are by the desk. I have no idea what I'm doing here. The reason I switched guitars on this, for all you for all you young guitar players out there. You know, I think I'm twisting the wrong peg.
You never admit that, Dave.
The reason I'm doing this is because I'm tuned down a half step for these two songs. I like the sound of that pick on these strings, though.
Yeah, that's a brash guitar.
Yeah, it's brash. Let me get some a little softer pick. Let me get rid of some of the highs in here. I've got these calendars that count back through the years to everything that mattered then, scrawled in boxes here. My jokes and little pictures, stars in colored ink, and all the restless energies of you. Stealing time I'll never see again. I stayed to watch the candle burn down to the end. All the love we made, you were never mine. You were only stealing time. Through the miracle ascendant, through the long and trembling fall, 1,000 waving flags that never registered at all. You slept an angel's slumber, wrapped in a fool's embrace, while I threw good love after bad. Stealing time I'll never see again. I stayed to watch the candle burn down to the end. All the love we made, you were never mine. You were only stealing time. Well, I might have made a haven, a calm and peaceful home. I might have had some children of my own. I might have seen the world, done something fine, that I gave those years to you. Stealing time I'll never see again. I stayed to watch the candle burn down to the end. All the love we made, you were never mine. You were only stealing time. In my heart a secret you had never heard. I want to say goodbye, but my mouth won't make the word. Then you're saying something, I hear myself laugh. You smile the sun into the sky, and I am yours again. Well, we're down to the rusted Ferris wheel, the midway overgrown. The woman in the empty ballroom dancing all alone. I carry your letters down to the water's edge and watch them drift away. Stealing time I'll never see again. I stayed to watch the candle Here, you.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
You're such a champ. You're a champion.
Trying my best here.
Because singing is a competitive thing. I'm kidding. It's really wonderful to have you here with us. I hope that we'll do this often.
Me too.
I do see naked audiences of up to 1,000 people in our future if we stay with this.
Hey, as long as they're comfortable.
As long as they're comfortable. That's what makes... Go ahead, the rest of you. Strip down. Because I want you to all be as big of... I'm the wrong guitar. Hang on. This guitar really needed the dead strings, didn't it?
As long as Tracy's definitely naked for the next show. I'll be there.
I know. You and Tracy go way back. I mean, as far as...
So much love for Tracy.
So much love.
The nice thing is that she looks good no matter what, you know.
I know. That's just one of the many reasons we don't like her very much. Are you still there, Trace? Are you still... Trace? 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 Is she still there? Okay. Now, I just as a... Well, there's not... It's any single women here, so I don't really have to make this disclaimer, but normally I say that I write two sorts of songs, and one type is the autobiographical thing, the sort of confessional, and the other is a carefully observed character study. This song is one of those, because this thing made me undateable in 3 counties when I first started playing it around, because it's... I don't know why I understand the mind of a sociopath so well, but I suppose that is not a great commercial for me either, is it? I will tell you, the water's better for the throat. So true. Do you have water? Would you like to go ahead?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Waiting for Greg.
So this song is called Back to Zero. Oh, I'm not even capoed. Ah. Silly me. Sorry about that. I was too busy introducing the song. Right now, over there at Julie's Joint International, where the Suits are watching this, they're going, this dude is losing the audience. He is, look, he's losing them. He had them, and now he's losing them. Look at all this dead air. Who signed this guy? I'm glad we didn't give him an audience. Turns out, if you think I'm tuning by ear and making contortions for no good reason, I'm tuning with this little tuner that's tucked on the back of my guitar headstock, and I can't see past my hand. Design error. It's called Back to Zero. Well, I'll be down and out, driving numb and senseless, hours before you even know I'm gone. Spaces in the closets, empty bureau drawers, every open thing that says I traveled on. Maybe you sit down and wonder what you did to run me off. You steady thing, your tender-hearted hero. And I might have looked like I was finally hooked up to the future, but really, I was always headed back to zero. I'll roll up on Colorado, I'll be properly despondent, blasting towns, Van Zandt, feeling fine. Hole up in Paonia to fall apart with friends. They'll sort me out on guitars with a couple jugs of wine. Couple jugs of wine, I'll be sounded out, cobbled back together pointed north the way I always do, with all my tragic notions and terrible obsessions, and I leave all the cleaning up to you. Hey up, hey up, hey oh, why do you do this to yourself? They'll want me to tell. Hey up, hey up, hey, I just don't know. The boy with all the stories is down the well. Now the story will be told how it all burned down around me while I stood by casual as Nero. And I might have looked like I was building something for the ages, but really I was always headed back to zero. Woo! With any luck there won't be fire in the bitter roots this year. I camp on Flathead like my uncles lay up in the dark with my eyes shut to the stars, listening for the pages to come rustling in my head, rustling in my head. And on the roundabout I'll stumble on some little town with kids on bikes, little lights strung up in the trees. And someone will say something kind that will reset the clocks. I'll find a room to rent and I'll be home again. And there a yoke of beauty, just a few years past her prime, I'll fly into her heart straight as an arrow. And for a couple years I'll put good numbers on the board, but really I'm always headed back to zero, always headed back to zero. Hey up, hey up, hey oh, why do you do this to yourself? They'll want me to tell. Hey up, hey up, hey, I just don't know. The boy with all the stories is down the well. You know, the boy with all the stories is down the well. Thank you all very much for coming out. Thank you all at home. And we're going to stop and have a quick dessert break, so I suggest you guys do that too. See you back here in about 10-15 minutes. With the John Zipperer Band. You're in for a treat, people. Thank you, man. There you go.
Wow, this one's so out of tune.
If we look off, I don't know if you need. I don't either. I don't think we do. I'm just concerned. People say things to me and I believe them. That's my name. How many mandolins?
We got 5 instruments.
How many mandolins?
We have 3. And I brought 2 mandolins. Yeah, that's right. I didn't know, but I misunderstood what she said.
I have a drum mic.
Drum. I thought it was. What's that? Help somebody else for a change. Do something for someone else. Are you guys conducting interviews online while we do this?
It's just it won't go any higher.
I turned the volume down too.
There were
As
100
high as it
people
goes.
when he finished.
That's great.
There's 12 now.
Really?
That's just an estimate.
Ah, thank you. I did not know what else to do.
so we can get mixed, so we can get playing. So people don't all leave. Let's go. Sailing, sailing. One. It'll be 1, 2, 3, and we'll sail. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and we're sailing, sailing away. And we're sailing, sailing away. And we're sailing, sailing away. Boy, I'm getting everything I need in the monitors if it sounds okay up front. How you feeling, Greg?
You like to have those in monitors?
Whenever you're ready, James, I think we're ready to go.
So, Greg, I guess you're just going to bring up the mains, right? I
Julie?
just brought those down.
Yeah. Are you coming up?
Here she comes.
I'm not getting fresh. I just got to get up.
Walking down there.
Maybe on Leslie's mic?
Okay. Ready?
She thinks I let her just hang there.
Hello?
She's stuck.
Are we on? Hello?
Somebody give a
Oh,
go.
okay. Oh.